Hello and welcome back to the Dog Bowl food truck. Oh, oh, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. It's been like an hour here. Hang on. What do I got for you? There you go. Yeah, I know it says my name, but it's normally it's mine. I just here it's all right. Well, I wrote my name on all of them. You know. Yeah, it's okay. You can have it. So, welcome back to the Dog Bowl food truck, where, as you can see, we still have Tiny Comfort Carl, the most perfect thing in this entire game book so far. Now, I want to posit a theory and we'll see how that turns out. But I'm a little suspicious that what. So, the deal with Carl's route, right, is that we have to deal with the man behind the slaughter. So now with Leo's route, it feels more like we're leaning harder towards their past relationship and the problems that have been wrought because of it. So I'm not sure where we're gonna go there, but I am curious if there's like the manifestation of whatever dark malevolent force is here is I'm curious if it is adopting Chase's form or if actually what is happening could be that maybe the whatever demon thing is in this place is feeding off of the emotions that Leo has had and the darkness that's he's kept inside, not trying to be edgy, but the anger and the frustration and the pent up feelings that he's got inside of him. And if the demon is adopting an idealized version of Chase that Leo has in his head. And so there's this separate entity away from our Chase. I don't know. It's just a theory, it's just an idea. Then I don't know what's going on here yet. Because we're just on Wednesday, the birthday. The birthday party that's not really about us, or not really about Carl, but about us, the friend group. And you know what? Now that they mentioned it in the side story metaphor, you can get to it at the through the lake menu. But now that I mention it and I look at Leo's eyes, there is a glint of red to them. Like before, I thought they were just like that brown, sort of goldy color that some wolf eyes are, but now that I'm really looking, it's kind of turning a little red. It's kind of spooky. Kitchen. I fell in the sink. Great. Now unlock the door. She disappears again, and we make our way back to the front door. Leo, you're fucking crazy. If you don't shut your fucking mouth, then I'll kick you right in your vagina. Sound good? Yeah, that is. Oof. Jesus, calm your. Leo turns on him, one foot in front of the other. Flynn shuts up, and me and TJ are left to around uncomfortably on the porch. That is aggressive. Holy shit. Like in Carl's route, we didn't get any of this. There was just passing comments of, hey, you're kind of being a dick to Leo. Hey, you're kind of being a dick to Leo. Jeez. Finally, we hear the door rattling and it opens. Called his name, but he didn't answer. Well, he's gotta be here. It's not like he can go anywhere. Or would want to. Carl's house is as massive and immaculate as I remember it. It is a mansion after all. There are a few bowls and wrappers laying around on the marble counters. I assume that's because Carl's parents aren't here to tell him not to be a slob. Flynn immediately heads up the stairs. Yo, Carl! I set the bag down on the table and TJ sets the cake there too. I look over at him. Are you alright? Yeah, why? Just asking. How was your hike with Jenna? Alright. Wish you were there, though. Yeah, me too. I might go again in a day or two if you'd like. Sure, why not? I promised myself that wasn't an empty promise. Well, he's not in his room. Flynn's actually looking a little worried now. Maybe he went for a walk? Carl? Walking? In this weather? Hell no. Does he have other friends? Maybe he went out somewhere. I don't think so. Well, let's do a quick sweep of the house. It's a big place. Flynn heads back upstairs and Leo heads for the downstairs with Jenna. TJ looks around the kitchen, then he moves over to the living room, checking the couches. I decide to head out back, if not just to get away from the others, since things feel unusually tense between us today. As I step out into the backyard, I'm a little surprised. It's different from when I was last here. The playset is gone, and so is the massive trampoline they used to have. The biggest shock, though, is seeing that the huge tree house that used to sit in the old oak tree is gone. I stand there for a moment, feeling a vague sense of loss. I have too many good memories of that place. Time moves too fucking fast. After a while, I remember why I'm here and look around again. No Carl, of course, but I start walking around anyway, looking behind bushes, even though I know it's stupid. While I felt for Leo, I could see where Flynn was coming from. It would have been a way better idea to warn Carl or just meet him somewhere else. Leo just gets carried away a little when he has his heart set on something. He probably had the whole scene planned out in his head before we even got here. Mostly I just feel really bad for him. He's working really hard to make this trip interesting for all of us. I think it's our fault more than anything that nothing's working out. Flynn's a dick, Carl doesn't care, Jenna's also kind of being a dick, and TJ's always into stuff that none of us are. And I'm just boring. As I round the corner of the house, I'm surprised to see Flynn standing there. He must have come out the front door. Oh, hey Flynn, I thought you went upstairs. Flynn doesn't seem surprised at all to find me out here, which makes me think he was looking for me. I did. Wasn't there, so I thought I'd look outside. Oh, well, he's not in the back, so... I don't know why, but Flynn is making me feel awkward as hell. Is something wrong? Flynn folds his arms and leans up against the house. Well, Carl's missing, so I guess that's a problem, huh? Yeah. I try to think of something to say. Well, I'm sure he's just hiding somewhere, or maybe he's out at the diner. Probably just get tired of being stuck in his own house. Yeah. He straightens up again and steps forward, and I don't know why, but I take a step back. You were hanging out with Leo yesterday, right? Yeah, for a little while. You spent the night there? I pause for a second to give him the hint that I'm not exactly okay with him prying like this. But I answer anyway. No, I got back to the motel at like 3. Huh. Yeah? I start to turn back around. Hey, why don't we check the basement? Chase. He's got the same tone as a disappointed parent, and that kind of pisses me off. I turn back around. What? You realize what you're doing is stupid, right? Excuse me? Getting back with him during a fucking spring break? Pretty stupid, right? I had a feeling that's where this was going, and now that I know for sure, I'm definitely pissed off now. How's that any of your business? How's it not? You two seem pretty okay with making it our business, right? No? He sneers at me. Cuddling up on the lake where our friend died is pretty messed up, isn't it? What? I saw you do. You know I did. So what? What does it have to say? What does that have to do with Sydney? I guess I just find it weird that you'd start up your old flame on what's practically a grave. What the hell are you talking about? Feeling change from anger to bewilderment. I did know what he was talking about. I just didn't know why. Well, since it's all out in the open now, why not talk about it? You're the one that put it out in the open. In the worst way possible, by the way. His sneer disappears. I just don't get why you're connecting those two things. We weren't even talking about Sydney. How? What else does that lake make you think of? I'm at a loss for words. Totally confused. This is Flynn. I never talked about Sydney with him after it happened. I was scared to. Well, I don't think of it as his grave or anything. Oh, really? It's just a fucking lake to you then, huh? He didn't die there, Flynn. It was in the hospital. Might as well have been there, right? I swallow hard, wanting desperately to get back inside. Let's not talk about this right now. Oh, I guess I was confused. Everyone's been telling me that I need to talk about it. Well, not like this. Not with just me here. We should all be together if we want to have this talk. I turn around again, making it clear I'm leaving. Wait. The change of tone in his voice makes me turn around again. It's softer, almost pleading. I'm not used to hearing Flynn talk like this. I'm just trying to look out for you, Chase. He's not. I feel some of that anger returning. He's not what? Well, he's not exactly a stable guy, is he? I laugh. And you are? He dips his head, and I can tell he's embarrassed, even though he doesn't have the ears to tell me so. And not just you, all of us. We're all a little fucking crazy, aren't we? Flynn smiles a little bit. Well, that's what happens when you live in Echo. That's what all the kids are at school said. Flynn frowns again. Listen, I'm just looking out for you. He's just... I sigh loudly and cover my face with a paw for a second. I was hoping I'd been able to change the subject, but now we're back to Leo. I'm surprised when I lower my paw and Flynn is just a few feet away. Flynn, just drop it. It's none of your business. His gaze hardens. I think it is when I see a friend taking advantage of another friend. Taking advantage of me? Yeah. Has been since you were fucking 15. I immediately know what he's implying. Fuck off, Flynn. You're acting like my fucking parent. He takes another step forward, and I back away. but he angles it so I'm pressed up against the house. I get the urge to run away, but I feel like doing that will only affirm how much this has escalated. There's a change in him as well. Something unfamiliar in his eyes, in his stance, in his voice even. He leans down to my height. Like playing with fire, huh? You've seen it in his eyes. He's fucking crazy. He pokes me in the chest to emphasize his words. Crazy. Kind of like you're being right now? Flynn pulls away, straightening his back but still looking down at me. Yeah? Well, maybe I am. The awkward silence stretches out, seeming to go on and on until... You know what? I think. Chase! Ooh, that's intense. So quick reminder, I am planning to read through Route 65, which, for people who may not know, is a sort of prequel to this. I am so very curious of more context, and this is, ooh. Oh dear. Both of our muzzles flick in the direction of Leo's voice, mine to the right, Flynn's to his left. Leo stands there, ears perked forward, though his expression seems neutral. I wonder how long he's been standing there. I can tell Flynn's wondering the same thing. Any sign of him? No. I slide out from under Flynn, making my way towards Leo. I checked the back, but I didn't see him anywhere. Leo doesn't even look at me, staring over the top of my head. I look and see Flynn staring right back, his shoulders still tensed. That's when I feel Leo's heavy, strong arm drape over my shoulders. Flynn's eyes narrow. Let's go back inside then. As Leo leads me away, I get the feeling that he's still staring Flynn down, even though I don't look up to check. Oh, that was a power move right there. That was a series of decisions. I am... Like, this went very... So... I mentioned briefly one of the ways that abusers will... abuse you is by isolating you. And they will particularly isolate you from people that might want to help you. And given the conversation that was just had between Chase and Leo, I think Leo has officially shifted Flynn from friend to threat. But we'll have to see how that goes. I'm getting worried. No shit, Carl just doesn't disappear from his house like this. He doesn't have anywhere to go. Calm down, he could be anywhere. He has more friends than just us. The fact that he isn't answering his phone is kind of fucking suspicious. Leo holds up his paws. You know he forgets to charge his phone sometimes. Flynn's getting... Oh my god, this is almost every character on the screen at the same time. Hold on. Let me just... See? There we go. There you go, thank you. Thank you, Comfort Carl. Thank you, Comfort Carl. Flynn's getting more and more frustrated, starting to pace around the living room. He never goes out with other friends. That's the problem. Listen, maybe we should just wait. You all can wait here. I'm gonna find him. Flynn makes for the door, and before anyone can say anything, it's slamming shut behind him. We sit in silence for a while, staring at the door that Flynn just took off through. Leo lets his breath out in a long sigh, rubbing his face. Alright, let's think. Where else does Carl have to go? The comic book shop? Leo looks at me for a second. Maybe if someone else gave him a ride. But like Flynn said, does he have anyone else to do that for him? Well, if you guys are going to do that, then I'll probably stay here in case he comes back. Yeah, and we can keep looking. Sounds good. Leo pulls his keys out of his pocket, then looks back at me. Coming with me, Chase? Yeah. I follow Leo out the door, actually starting to feel worried about Carl. So, Carl is the most isolated person probably in the whole damn town. And like we said, he's got an ancestor who's the man behind the slaughter. And his whole story involves sleepwalking and... Where could he be? Like, this is so strange. We walk around the mall for about an hour, checking the food court and every shop we pass. It's clear that this idea was pretty hopeless from the beginning. Jenna lets us know that Carl hasn't showed up at the house either, that they're heading back to the motel. Finally, Leo and I call it quits and head back to his house before walking to the diner for dinner. So, where do you think he went? Leo's hunched over, an elbow on the table and his chin in his paw, staring out the window. I don't know. Do you think we should call someone? Like the cops? Not yet. He's an adult, so they won't really look into it unless it's been days. False. Incorrect. Wrong. If you suspect someone is missing, report it. It doesn't matter if you think they're going to take it seriously or not. Report it as soon as you believe they are missing. It is so important. They've literally made an entire show about this called The First 48. We should probably call his parents, though, if he doesn't show up by tonight. I don't say anything, stirring my milkshake around. I glance back toward the kitchen area, watching a very tired-looking Janice gather up plates before taking them to the back. I was pretty much mortified when I realized she was here and about to take our order, mostly just because I was embarrassed for her. She didn't really say anything, though. Just took our order and left. I examined my milkshake closely, though. For what? I'm not sure. I'm not too worried, though. He's been under a lot of stress and probably just wanted to leave town for a while. But who would he do that with? And why wouldn't he tell us? Leo sips on his milkshake and I wait for him to finish. I guess things really have changed. Yeah? I rest my chin in my palm, meeting his eyes so he knows I'm listening. I mean, the way Flynn was acting all day, he really can't stand us anymore. Carl probably just feels the same way. I don't think so. Flynn's usually been that way, right? Not like that. Like the way he was talking to you earlier. So he did hear. Guess you were right. I should have just left shit alone. We all used to fit together so well, but now we've all changed, and It's like we're bending ourselves to fit again. I guess that's just life, right? Leo grunts and keeps staring at the window. It's clear how much he wanted this all to work out, to give us the opportunity for one last hurrah before we separated for good. And now I'm actually pretty angry at myself and the others. This is our last chance to really say our goodbyes, and it's like we don't care at all. Jenna and TJ are off doing their own thing, Carl's getting lost and probably high, and Flynn's being Flynn. I lean forward, then, grinning. You know, I'm really happy you planned all of this. Slowly, Leo shifts his attention from the sunset to my face. I smile widely for him. This is the most fun I've had all year, even though everyone's acting like a dick. I dip my head self-consciously. Including me, I know, but this whole thing has reminded me about a lot of the good things in this town. And even though things have been kind of shitty, I think it's a good note to leave off on. Leo raises his brows. Because weren't things always shitty? It's part of the experience. Leo stares at me for a long time. I feel my grin start to fade. But then he reaches forward and rubs a thumb up my nose. I blink in surprise, and he shows me the smear of white on his thumb pad. Sorry, it was hard to take you seriously looking like a cokehead. He grins and licks his thumb. Oh. I blush and grab a napkin to wipe my face, but Leo rests a paw on my arm. But seriously, thanks. For trying, at least. Leo looks like he's about to say something else, hesitates, then opens his muzzle again. Cute. Leo and I look up to find a lanky, patchy, ugly, ring-tailed cat staring down at us with beady black eyes. Ew! What is this?
Oh my god, what is that? Oh my god! What is that?
Oh, gross! Oh, ew! Ew! Bengus couldn't grow a beard and got a 5 o'clock shadow. What is this? Ah, and what is with his face? And oh man, don't do drugs, kids, or else you'll look like Clint. What voice did I even give young Clint? I don't know. I kind of did Clint and Jeremy off of Beavis and Butthead, I think. So I'm gonna go with it, sure. I don't know if you knew, but there's a lot of other people in here trying to enjoy their meal. Clint puts a paw down on the edge of the table, leaning in. Could you try not to ruin it for us? He grins at me, showing me just how many teeth he's missing. Guess he's graduated from huffing paint since the last time I saw him. The hell are you doing here, Chase? Didn't you dump his fat ass? I grimace. We as Echo enjoyers all know about how fat that butt is. I can't tell if he's joking or not, or if he's still the same asshole that I remember him as. I haven't talked to him in years. Well, it kind of looks like you dumped your own ass, Clint. What happened to you? I can see Clint's brain work as he digests what I said, deciding whether or not he should be offended. I can also see his tail twitching behind him. Oh my god, hang on. Oh my god. Oh! Ugh, his tail. Ugh. What is this? God. Meth is one hell of a drug. It's patchy too, leaving some parts of it bald like a rat's tail. Actually, Clint, you're right. We're all trying to eat. Well, there's a smelly, ugly, ring-tailed skeleton ruining it for us. Clint flicks his attention from me to Leo, who smiles sweetly at him. Mind doing us all a favor and getting the fuck out? Clint leans in low to the table, putting his face up next to Leo's. Leo keeps a straight face, and I'm impressed because I can smell the stench of Clint's breath even from here.
Think you're funny? I don't say slurs?
I don't say slurs. If you're trying to make me mad, you might as well do it right, huh? Leo takes a sip from his milkshake nonchalantly while Clint gapes at him. His brain, which I imagine is Swiss cheese at this point, tries to come up with some kind of retort.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, well, I tell you to do the same, but you've got a sister at home, don't you? Clint moves fast, swinging a fist up and around towards Leo's jaws. Leo's ready for him and lunges to the side, though the fist still glances the side of his face. He grabs Clint's arm and yanks him down onto the table, which knocks over my milkshake and sends it splashing onto my lap. I gasp and stand up and move to the side of the table while Leo starts to rub Clint's face into the mess, smashing it into the table a few times.
Stop it!
I jump as Janice shouts from right next to me. Leo hears her too, and turns around while still holding Clint down. The dead look is still in her eyes. The fur on her face is matted, like she's been crying a lot, but hadn't washed since.
I am not going to deal with this today, Leo.
You know Clint started it. Leo's ears are flat as he looks back at Janice, clearly thrown off. Underneath him, Clint snarls and thrashes.
Am I gonna have to get the taser from the back?
Slowly, Leo backs off Clint, who immediately shoves himself off the table. I can see Leo prepare himself in case Clint takes another swing, but he doesn't even look at him. His already dirty tank top smeared brown from the milkshake, he stumbles to the door, disappears outside.
And clean up that fucking mess before you leave.
With that, the old coyote turns and stalks off to the back. Well, well, well. Good to see that some things never change, huh? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Clint is probably trailer trash, grew up in a broken home, surrounded by drugs, and now he's on drugs. Because there was a period of time where I wasn't huffing paint, but I was trying to huff some fumes. I never got into anything strong, but I did manage to get certain things that would give me a little bit of a buzz, I guess. Just that weird, dumb, burning feeling in my nose, and that, like, pressure at the back of my eyes, and, like, the almost weightlessness at the top of my skull. Thankfully, I only did it a few times, so I never really got hooked on it. But, yeah. So, with all that being said, I'm gonna have to go ahead and call it right here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see y'all in the next one. Have a good night, guys.